Good evening, racing fans, and welcome to SpeedGaming. We've got the Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 4 today, and we have an invitational match between Sphere-finity, represented by GFE, and I Like Big Boots, represented by Zero Rush. My name is Zeke Highwind, and joining me in the booth today is Drossi.
Hey there. Happy Monday night to all of you. Should be a good race here. Definitely some implications for both teams, too. I Like Big Boots could have clinched a playoff spot last week if they had won either of their matches, but instead they got swept. So now they're trying for a win to get in, and Sphere-finity basically needs to win all their remaining matches to have any sort of hope of playoffs. So we'll see what happens.
On the personal side, I believe these are two good friends racing each other today, too.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's always nice in the community when you get, friends racing each other, and then hopefully, regardless of who wins and who loses, they can still joke around in the interview. We turned up the volume.
And before we get started here real quick, I'll just give a quick shout out to our tracker for today, Akuhaish, who will be keeping us honest with the tracking today.
But we should be getting underway momentarily, and as you can see in the box, it is just regular old open. Zelda's rescued, pick between Link's house and the Sanctuary.
And get bombs out of Link's house. Always nice to find some early bombs.
Definitely, though GFE found enough money to buy bombs, and that's 2 pendants in the light world. Pendant Hera, pendant Eastern, and a 5/6 crystal at Desert.
I was going to say, that looks like a red crystal to me down in Desert. And we've got a 20 rupee tree pull.
So we're not going to be in money trouble.
It's pretty easy to grind up money just by killing one enemy at a time and pulling a tree.
Yeah. Well, and so GFE will be able to easily buy bombs even though he didn't find any yet. Ooh, and there's a mirror. That's an interesting early find.
Meanwhile, Uncle and the Secret Passage for just more 20 rupees. And well, there's his bombs.
How fortuitous.
This is a pretty tame opener for the run.
And GFE killing that pickle so that he can do another tier 1 tree pull, potentially, and get more big 20s.
Speaking of bombs...
Yes, you love to see openings where the players are not hard up for bombs.
As a runner, I'd rather see bombs than not see them.
Especially when you don't have another weapon. And Zero Rush gonna find his mirror. What was in Uncle Chest? I didn't catch that. I saw Uncle himself had money.
Uncle and the Secret Passage were both big 20s.
Oh, okay. So, except for the mirror, pretty boring stuff so far. Piece of heart, more money, and more piece of heart.
Of course you find money in the thieves' hideout. And bomb-locked bombs.
Naturally. Gotta replenish it somehow.
Well, neither runner will be hurting for money today.
Yeah, I mean, heck, we can fake Flipper to Zora all we want, right?
We could.
There's our first bottle. Another thing you love to see in CAC, just swing by Sick Kid now.
Yep, we like getting the early bottle. And there's our first heart container from Pieces of Heart in the well.
Yeah, what is this seed? It's like the mirror and a bunch of garbage, and a ripoff from the bottle vendor, even.
Could be worse. We could not have the mirror.
GFE's walking around spamming the mirror to express his displeasure with the lack of other items.
Or he just really wants us to hear the nice sound.
I mean, if there were blocks to delete, it would be nicer. Huh. Well, that's a bit of a fetch quest chain, but until we have Dark World access or the hammer, we can't actually check Magic Bat.
Speaking of Magic Bat, there's the vanilla Magic Bat item.
Well, so we know Magic Bat isn't vanilla today.
That's good.
Now, what about Library and Race Game here? What do you know? More junk.
Well, what? I tend to like to see stuff where it's on the race game after you've gotten nothing out of Kakariko, but that's not this seed either.
Yeah, I probably would have gambled the race game just because there's been so much nothing in Kakariko.
That was actually a really empty Kakariko.
Yeah, so GFE made the right call by not gambling the race game and checking it first. So, well, at least we can do the dam in only one trip because just delete the blocks.
Block deletion is such a useful trick. Just don't do it in a dungeon.
Yeah, I've seen people try to do that. Then the mirror works as it was intended.
Yeah, my first experience doing that was on top of Ganon's tower.
Bad place to do that. After Moldorm 2, no doubt?
Mm-hmm.
And GFE going to Aegina. Interesting play, especially with so few items. I'm surprised he's not doing the density of Mini Moldorm.
On the other hand, it's very hard to route back to Agina's cave from a save and quit when you've already done the floodgate.
Yeah,
and there's more bombs.
Yeah, this is getting a bit ridiculous. Bombs, big 20s, and pieces of heart, and that's about all we're getting out of this seed.
There was the 10 arrows we saw somewhere.
That's true, on Race Game, and I guess another one that our runners actually picked up since they have 10 arrows.
Speaking of 10 arrows...
Now we have 20 arrows, on GFE's side at least. No bow to shoot them with, but...
You just take an arrow in each hand and you stab the enemies with it, right?
And Zero Rush having trouble with that pesky Mini Moldorm. Ooh, and there's a sword in the... Okay, see, I told you Mini Moldorm Cave was where you'd go for item density.
What? Hold on. Why was that very stacked?
It wasn't the race I calmed earlier today. Mini Moldorm Cave's the new hype cave, didn't you know?
Apparently. Sword, flippers, hammer, and moon pearl.
Yup. And a big 20, just to remind you what seed you're in.
Yeah, of course.
Swamp is the green pendant. May we never have to enter it.
I'm getting flashbacks to previous races. Ideally, we never have to go to Swamp Palace.
Too bad that there weren't like 3 big 20s in there, and then we could shout jackpot, and, you know.
Jackpot, and immediately Zero Rush gets 300 rupees.
Well, I think he's going to be paying a fish.
With 900 rupees, you almost have to, especially when you just got flippers to put it in logic too.
But this is unfortunate for GFE because that's a lot of items for him to not have going into Eastern now. How deep do we think he's going? How deep into Eastern do we think GFE's going?
Honestly, big key chest. Well, now big chest at least, but
yeah.
Honestly, big key chest.
Unless we get the God Eastern, that would be nice since it's a pendant.
That means with Green Pendant Swamp, that means the rest for Dungeons or Crystals, we only need to know which was the red one.
Was that a flute on Zoraledge?
I think that was a flute on Zoraledge.
Yeah, as chat said, GFE's gambles are coming up snake eyes, unfortunately. And Zero Rush doing a more conventional routing and then following the logic of the items he's been given is definitely finding more items, because now he has full Light Death Mountain access between the mirror and the hammer and the flute.
Yes, he does. However, there are 3 constants. Death, taxes, and Zora's going to scam you.
You mean you don't want 3 artisanal bombs for that kind of money?
Not really. I mean, Zero Rush is probably okay getting those bombs. He was running low, but you kind of want your 500 rupees to be worth more.
Well, it was a God Eastern. It also had complete garbage.
I like that the 10 arrows in the chest only gives you the bow.
Well, if Zero Rush avoids Eastern, he will save quite a bit of time. And I'm guessing he's gonna flute to 1 from here.
I mean, like you said, the seed is practically telling you to do so.
Or maybe he'll flute to 8 and just deal with Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, with flute, that's such an easy pickup at this point, though. It's worth noting that our Moldorms today are on the, what I call the Hinox drop pack.
Certainly a very powerful drop in any case.
And Zero Rush is taking that hammer to go check what's that magic bat.
Makes sense since he was in CAC anyway. Probably a red herring. Just a red herring, just like the last seed earlier today.
I wouldn't call that a red herring. It looks very blue to me.
And with a bloopy, you can buy many herring, right?
I don't know, what is the going rate on herrings in Hyrule?
I don't know. I mean, is the fish that flops around and that you can sell to the bottle vendor a herring?
Not sure. Just like I'm not sure where in the room GFE is, but he's going back for the old man.
You mean Zero Rush?
Yeah, Zero Rush. GFE's still going through the water. My apologies.
Yes, old man's out of logic, but it's nice to establish the save point.
The user in chat, the red herring, is feeling called out. My apologies.
Oh, and GFE is swimming over to Ice Rod Cave here. Interesting.
Zero Rush has to be careful. Those cabbages will do 1 heart of damage.
GFE has to be careful. Those sand crabs will do 2 hearts of damage.
Yeah, but at least GFE can take a hit right now.
He also has a sword that can dispatch them. Oh yay, a shield.
You sound excited.
So now the question for Zero Rush is, do you check Hera or do you try not to deal with Pendant Hera and hope your answer's on the east side?
Honestly, right now, I'd check Hera and then die to the mini Moldorm just for the health refill.
And then what?
Die to the mini Moldorm for a health refill.
Oh.
And good thing we checked. That's a Master Sword.
Yeah. Which means we are a glove away from regular Dark World access, and we are a lamp away from logical Aga access.
Do we have to think about Aga right now?
I think we do at this point. If he sees the flute, I did not see what was on Floating Island.
Big 20.
Oh, of course.
You can usually make a guess that's a big 20, and you have a decent chance of being right. There's 28 of them in the item pool.
Well, unless it's bombs, right? Or piece of heart.
I'm sure there's 24 pieces of heart.
Unless we're playing SGL mode, in which case there's 32. But we're not playing SGL mode. Yes, you don't see Open 7-7 that often anymore.
And that's blue mail out of Spiral Cave. With how little health this seat's given us so far, blue mail's a welcome sight.
Yeah, and mind you, Zero Rush did not want to deal with getting that heart container because it's a little walk around. But hey, at this level of play, 4 hearts, whatever. Might as well have 20. And there's our Dark World access and a boomerang.
Hey, we can check Stun Prize now. Maybe it'll be as nice as the tree pole and the Hoarder Crab.
Anything else here in Paradox? I mean, we got a... Oh, 0! You can't open chests from the side.
I wonder if that was a forgot which side the chest and the crystal switch were on moment.
It looks like GFE's also gonna do his powder.
Now is a really good time for the powder check.
And Zero Rush is gonna do Hype Cave. But how hype can it really be when all the hype was in Mini Moldorm Cave?
That depends. Is there a bow or a cane in there?
Well, I guess a rod.
Boops? Titansmiths?
We haven't yet gotten a Dark World map check to figure out what the other 5/6 is, have we?
No, we have not. I was actually going to ask, do we check what the other 5/6 even is?
Okay. Seed is playable now. Zero Rush has the bug net.
That's a book. And a bug net as our exciting items of the run.
That gets us into desert.
And we can kill Aga.
Yes, though we already could. Oh, there it is. Turtle Rock, of course.
Well, I guess the good news is the Ice Rot's not Pyramid Fairy.
That's true.
I do like this play from Zero Rush. He's going directly for Bombos after picking up that book.
You were saying...
Or he's just going around. I guess it looks like Bombos checked me. I forgot there was a rock there.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably gonna do that with Smith Chain. But yes, Bombos could be an interesting play at this point.
Oh look, accessible heart containers do exist.
And he even went to the trouble of picking it up.
It didn't involve jumping off the sledge to pick it up.
What's Stumpy got? Of course.
A little bit of love for him. Gave him another heart container, so not an unwelcome piece of heart.
Well, all we have access to here is the dig game, unless the dig game happens to turn up the mitts.
How many digs do you think it's going to take today?
20. What do you think?
I was going to say about 15.
I was pretty close.
Yeah, you were. We are fire-locked out of Tower of Hera.
We are. That's probably a good thing.
Hey, look, the back of Escape.
Oh yeah, it's easy to forget about Escape in an open seed.
Is this right, man? I was trying to remember what we found in Escape during the Escape scenes we didn't do.
Well, I mean, Zero Rush did Uncle. GFE hasn't even done Uncle. Well, there's... And despite the key, Zero Rush is not going to track to Dark Cross.
Don't blame him. It's not a fun task to get the key off Key Rat in the dark.
That said, we do now have all of the front of Escape in Logic.
That we do. And here's the Sahasrara check for Zero Rush.
Where he finds junk. Got the flute out.
He's probably gonna just flute off to Kakariko at this point, then. Dark Whirl. Get the Dark Whirl from the other side. Oh! He's cleaning up Ice Rock Cave.
Okay, so this gives a bit of time back to GFE.
A little bit.
Let's see what GFE does with the book.
Now, it occurs to me when I asked if you check the map to see what your red crystal is, that didn't apply to Zero Rush because he had not talked to Sahasrara. Does GFE check the map to see what one red crystal is?
Right, Zero Rush had to find one red crystal and the green pendant. And Zero Rush going to Aegina before trying Desert. Interesting.
I can see maybe if the boots were here to prevent the boots lock desert.
So GFE, is he also... No, he is going for Bombo's tablet, so we'll see if Zero Rush missed anything here. And Zero Rush is not even using the book to get into Desert.
It's possibly one item, possibly no items. All you get is information if you need the boots.
Oh, yeah. No, I know it's, possibly nothing. It's more like, we got that book, and I'm at least a bit curious to see where it leads. Led to a heart container. Well, Zero's gonna give us our first look at the Village of Outcasts. No, you need the mitts to go south.
GFE's doing Swamp.
GFE is really trying to clown this seed as much as possible.
I mean, Green Pendant Swamp without a
Hookless.
hookshot.
Right.
Before Village of Outcasts. It's a bit of a gamble.
In addition to Pendant Eastern, which came up completely dry. I mean, and these are two fairly evenly matched players. It's not like Zero Rush is a much stronger runner and GFE needs to gamble if he hopes to win. You know, they're pretty evenly matched.
They are. But I know GFE does like to make gambling plays, too.
Why isn't he going up against Hitsuyan? Hey, Tempered Sword and C-shaped house.
Tempered Sword's nice.
So we will be able to get up to 4 items out of Swamp.
Unless there's a hookshot in Swamp.
Yes. I mean, if there is, but Zero Rush hovers, I think. We don't know if we'll find the boots this seed, but still. We likely will.
Unless the boots are behind the hookshot in Pendant Swamp.
That would be interesting. Maybe the boots are vanilla.
I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
You've never seen vanilla boots?
Oh, I've seen them. But I wouldn't wish them on anybody, especially behind Pendant Swamp with no hookshot.
I don't know, I just prefer the ABCD method. Always be clearing dungeons. Thieves' Town is clearable. Swamp is not.
Yeah. But every runner's got their own different style. I did not see if we got anything major in Thieves' Town yet, but we had a vanilla big key.
I think that's all we've gotten so far. I wasn't counting items.
I mean, the Swamp Plate does make a little sense when you look at the items the seed's given you early.
Yeah, did the flippers lead to anything? Yeah, led to the flute.
Yeah, the flippers led to the flute that led you to the Dark World.
Right. So that could be the extent of the logic behind the flippers, just that, you know, they led to the flute. And of course, we're going to have to drop down twice here because we don't have the hookshot to simply go across the gap.
Well, that's 55 rupees out of Swamp Palace. Because the big chest was another bloopy.
And we have not yet found the small key in Thieves' Town. Might be able to skip the big chest.
Hopefully so. But I'm expecting it to be here in the blind hideout cell.
50-50. You were right.
Was that the Titans,
That could be interesting depending where the fire rod is, because if fire locks fire, that's pretty big. If the fire rod shows up soon, it doesn't make much of a difference.
Oh no, that was the lamp. Okay.
Yeah. Wait, did you just say Titansmiths?
I had just finished cleaning my glasses off, and from distance it looked like Titans.
I mean, a fire source is important, and GFE's now going to gamble that Desert is not boots locked.
Well, when you're right here, it's a good chance to try it.
Yeah, no, this is very interesting depending where the fire rod is. That is a big out for GFEs if the fire rod is hard to get. Like, for example, if it's on Landmos. Or if it's upstairs in Hera or something.
And I don't think there was anything in Thieves Town other than that crystal.
I mean, a crystal's a crystal. It's the first crystal of the game, and we're almost half an hour in. Yeah, Titan's Mitts.
Well, that's a good find.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's what the book was leading to.
You did say you want to see where the book led.
Yeah, well, that worked, and now GFE is checking the Mire area. Doesn't have any medallions, so he can't actually go into Mire. And, of course, Desert is boots locked, so we can't just mirror to the back of Desert or anything. But 2 from Mire should check the medallion.
It is valuable information for GFE to have.
And Zero Rush does get a key in that first chest in Skullwood, so he can just go around. The Piece of Heart was French Vanilla. I believe Vanilla's on the left.
It's been a little bit since I played Vanilla, so you might be right.
And Vanilla Ether for Mire, too. But yeah, Divergence.
And a pretty major one, too.
Well, I don't think we want the Lagamarang.
Probably not.
So, oh right, Kempered Sword was in C-shaped house, so GFE should get that pretty soon.
Chat's enjoying pointing out that there's a lot of things that can be on ped right now.
Yeah, we have not found much this seed, all told. And that was our first item in Skullwoods, yes?
I think so. Unless we got an item in Pot Prison, I didn't see what we were getting in Titan's Mitts.
Oh, maybe it was. Maybe there were arrows in Pot Prison. Yeah, Ped could have something crazy like Samaria or one of the needed medallions.
Could we just wish Ped has a heart container and be done with it? Could we just wish that?
Statistically, that's more likely. What's Zero Rush going to find in Graveyard Ledge? Graveyard Ledge was really the make or break in the seed I commed earlier today. The Fire Rod was there, and one runner went to it, the other just fluted away after Skull Woods.
Let's have a little fun and say there's gonna be, I don't know, a shovel.
We're running out of fetch quests. Didn't even want to take a moment to pick up that heart container because, well, red mail.
Yeah, you have red mail. What do you really need that many hearts?
Oh.
The unfortunate thing is, it has to walk all the way out of here.
Yeah, I was wondering if he was going to go all the way around to Catfish. Maybe he is. Yup.
I mean, this is one of 2 opportunities to really be able to route it in cleanly.
Yeah. But we haven't seen Pyramid Ledge.
And the other is when you're getting Pyramid Ledge. So.
So where do you think our next progression is going to be? Pod?
Darkness Mountain.
We can only check Super Bunny Cave, though.
True.
We don't even have an invincibility item to help us get through Spike Cave. I mean, I guess if you put a fairy in a bottle, you could cheese Spike Cave. Oh yeah, Smith Chain in Logic now.
Smith Chain is an option, yeah. But Zephyr Rush wants the front of the castle.
Which we have not seen yet. That could have something like Kane. And if it winds up being garbage, Zero Rush has basically given back the time that GFE spent doing Eastern. A penny for your troubles.
One single solitary rupee.
A rupee ain't worth what it used to be.
I believe there's only 2 items here in the front of the castle as well. Actually, we don't know what's at Dark Cross yet, so if you don't find anything, Dark Cross could have the map as well. Or it could just be right there.
In the boomerang chest, and somehow he collected that. It looked like he exited the room too fast.
It did. I agree.
Nice scripted blind fight there. And just another heart container. And Zero Rush is not doing Dark Cross, which for him is out of logic, but having gotten the key and the map, we know there's an item there.
And he is going to Desert. He will be picking up those Titan Smiths.
Indeed he will. So I wonder if GFE is gonna do at least some of the Smith's chain here. Maybe not return the purple chest, but, you know, Smiths and hammer pegs. He also hasn't done Dig Game yet, or Stumpy or Cave 45, so maybe he will do the whole chain. Zero Rush also eventually realizing that, oh yeah, the rest of the dungeon must be boots locked. I can't do anything here.
But what a way to find out his boots locked. Get Titan Smiths.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a number of seeds where, you know, there's something very important in Desert Map Chest, even though that means the rest of Desert is boots locked.
I think my favorite was finding boots in the Desert Map Chest.
Well, then you really don't need to worry about it being boots locked.
Is that like finding a bow in the shooter chest and pod?
That's a pretty good one.
And we're going to take Jeremiah home. So what profession do you think the blacksmiths are today?
Probably doing organ transplants. So does that make them doctors? Oh, they're vanilla. How about that?
Blacksmiths. I don't think we'd have guessed that in a million years. What about you?
No, I was not expecting that. This is interesting. Zero Rush is going to check Ether Tablet and Super Bunny Cave, and that's really all he can do up here. Well, Hammer Pegs is vanilla.
So it is. kind of interested if the book leads somewhere other than just the Titan's mitts.
Well, here's the moment of truth. Oh! What are those?
Why are those there?
I don't know, but GFE kind of has to go up the mountain now.
That could take GFE a minute to get back to.
Well, I mean, once he turns in the purple chest, he's at a bit of a dead end, so he's got to flute to somewhere.
So, yeah, the book absolutely led somewhere else.
Yeah, and it's ether for both of our medallion requirements today. So,
lots of money in that chest.
And the boots locked the bow, and GFE is following Zero Rush up there, and Zero Rush is going to try to hover. I can guarantee you the hookshot isn't in this cave.
I would hope not, otherwise we got something wrong here.
Hey, I've seen hookshot in that first chest where Zero Rush got the bow.
There's a reason I call it the bonk shot chest.
This hover is kind of the hardest. Maybe just because your fingers are tired from doing the first hover, but I feel like I see more like that. I see more people take the fall there.
You've seen that exact situation happen?
Pretty much, yeah.
Bud gets the second try hover for the other big 20 in the room.
But I feel like both runners are probably feeling reasonably good here, you know. Wow, I did this mountain play and I got the boots and the bow. I mean, GFE's gonna get the bow momentarily.
What's gonna be funny is when there's a hookshot here in Soup Bunny.
At the rate we're going now. Nope.
Or it's just more money to go with all the rest of the money.
So we still need Samaria, Ether, and both rods, and then hookshot. I mean, for Zero Rush, the hookshot's a bit more optional. I don't think GFE hovers like that, though. Maybe he knows Moldorm Bounce.
If we know Zero Rush can hover. If GFE can hover or bounce, then we just need Samaria, Ether, and the elemental sticks.
Still several items.
And we're going to pod.
Yeah, I am not surprised.
We just got a bow. It's the last progression.
Yes, and the bow was locked by the boots, so we don't need to... Since for the most part there haven't been like double progression off of a single item, we can more assume that Desert isn't going to lead us somewhere because the boots gave us bow. Oh, but GFE is going to try Hera here, it looks like. Interesting.
No? He has a fairy in his bottle.
Oh! This is gonna be tough.
This is tight, but doable. You get a lot of iframes out of the fairy revive, at least.
Oh, true. That is a lot of iframes, indeed. Okay, yeah, he should be fine. Serves him right.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Zero Rush trying the hover here. Interesting that he's taking 2 stabs at it. Most runners, if they don't get it the first time, just give up. But he seems to have it. Wow. Wrong medallion.
From a lot of runners I know, that's actually probably the hardest useful hover.
Yeah, because you have to hit the rail right in the middle.
And you have to turn.
Yeah.
Almost more pressingly, you have to turn.
Well, if this was going to be hovering, why isn't P-Train playing for Sphere-finity?
In terms of non-useful hovers, if you want the hardest one, I've heard a lot of complaints about the Trinex hover.
Yes, P-Train's a big fan of that. Now this could be interesting because we haven't seen the lamp lead to anything yet. And if there is something in Dark Cross, that could be important.
And with the lamp, GFE is going for it.
Makes total sense.
For a moment, I was trying to figure out which key we didn't get in the front, but we have not retrieved the key in the Stalfos basement.
Yeah, because Zero Rush hovered.
I was watching Zero Rush's Dark Maze. What happened?
Ice Rod!
Oh no!
Sorry, I need to breathe.
Please stay breathing. GFE is going to go do Desert Palace.
So I think that's what the lamp was logically leading to. Well, Zero Rush finds a fetch quest. Yeah, well, I mean, with the Ice Rod and half magic, Landmo should be a cinch.
We have Butter Sword.
That's also true. One way or the other, this is going to be a fast Landmo's fight.
The big problem I see with that Ice Rod location is it'll take Zero Rush a bit to get back there. That's a very isolated single check.
Oh, yeah.
And normally I'd say you route that back in with Pyramid Fairy, but... you might notice that our other red crystal is blocked by the Ice Rod.
Yes, definitely not routing it in with Pyramid Fairy. Of course, we don't even know what's on the pyramid. So I would imagine Zero Rush goes there next. So what do we have available? Still can't get into Ice. Don't have the medallion to get into Mire.
I think these are our main checks right here that we're getting on screens.
So you think either Helma or Landmo's has... well, Landmo's or Desert Big Chest. We know one of them has the remaining item. Just bombs there, so is it going to be Helma King?
It could be a shovel we just got as well.
It could also be Hera.
Yes it could.
There is one item in Hera.
And it's fire-locked, so unless there is a fire rod right here or on the shovel, Zero Rush has to go to the swamp to be able to do it. But first GFE goes to pod. Because there's more items there. How about your medallion to get into Misery Mire?
Yeah, I mean, it'll also get us into Turtle Rock, but without Samaria, we can't really do anything. So now it'll be an interesting question of whether anything is fire-locked in Misery Mire.
How about Pendant Eastern?
Oh. I mean, I guess because you're here.
It's a little hard to get back to if you don't do it now.
But given that Zero Rush is doing this, I feel comfortable putting GFE in the lead.
Only slightly?
I mean, he'll have all the same stuff plus the lamp and the ice rod.
Yeah. The ice rod's the big one. The lamp, well, will speed up his trip through pod.
Yes, one thing not to be overlooked that, like, doesn't matter how good of a runner you are, it is faster to do dark rooms with a lamp than without a lamp.
We actually timed it out when I was doing comms for another tournament. It took somebody about 15 seconds longer to do Dark Mire without a lamp than it did for the runner with a lamp.
Interesting.
And this was top-tier talent like Gamma and Ralkin.
Now, of course, Zero Rush did save quite a bit of time not having to go all the way through Bolocked side here.
And Zero Rush is saving time going through Eastern here, just by virtue of having the boots.
Indeed. So I assume he's going to go off to Mire now, having just gotten the medallion for it. He's thinking. Yeah, Mire. And he'll probably finish up Desert, too. Maybe he'll do Desert first, because he knows there's an item. Yeah. Oh, he can't finish Desert, right. Slight problem.
He doesn't have fire.
Right. And this is where, you know, the old thing about whether fire locks fire. If Fire Rod is fire locked on left side Mire, I mean, I guess eventually Zero Rush gets funneled into Pendant Swamp, but he still has the Smith Chain too.
Which, conveniently, if he ever decides to Smith Chain, that routes nicely back into Pendant Swamp.
Yes. This also means Zero Rush is going to waste a little bit of time opening the big chest.
Just a little. Can't we just use our bottle, put some of that Kodongo fire in, and use it on torches?
Zero Rush hasn't checked that shovel yet, has he?
Not yet.
No. He'll probably combine that with Smith Chain, honestly. Oh, and he's not even going into Mire. Interesting. Okay, this has got to be a Smith Chain play.
It almost has to be coming here. There's not much else in this area, is there?
Yeah, I mean, especially given that Zero Rush has already done Skull Woods, as much of it as he can.
And the entire North Dark World.
Well, he'll get his Butter Sword.
Yeah.
This is crazy. We still have 4 crystals we can't get. And, of course, the issue with the hook shot.
The real question is, if something is on shovel, how long will it take GFE to get there, having already done Smith Chain?
Yeah, well, it's easy to flute too. Oh, Zero Rush just fluted directly to Gary.
Not a bad choice.
Right, is he now going to do the chop? Well, yeah, he's running, so probably. Yeah.
Might be going for the Bombos tablet.
Oh, right, he never did do that.
Or the swamp play.
Oh, this looks like the swamp play. No. Bombos, swamp, Bombos, swamp, Bombos.
Bombos. However, GFE is going straight for the shovel.
I mean, this seed has been somewhat linear in the sense of, you know, any big item you get has usually had one piece of progression. And shovel was not one of those.
Which means I think the bow leads you to Meyer.
Where's GFE going? What's he got here? Pyramid and catfish? I mean, yeah, I would have followed Ether to Meyer by now.
The pyramid check is an okay check, though.
Yeah, but if you're going to this much trouble, you're probably doing catfish next.
Probably.
No, he's got the mirror out. Oh, it's been sitting there all along.
Okay game.
So, that's finished Skullwoods for us. Oh, he never did Uncle.
Which does give him a little more density to draw him to the pyramid. I think we just need the cane and the hookshot.
Yep, and the hookshot's optional for Zero Rush.
I believe I saw some of the other members of Sphere-finity in chat. Can GFE hover or motor mounts?
And while the runners are going over each other's footsteps, this is a good opportunity to remind you to follow them.
Yes, please do. The amount of work they do to put on these shows for us is fantastic. They love what they do. At least I think they do.
Given the location of the lamp, it's actually kind of impressive that both runners are getting it.
Just slightly, I agree. How many... If I had told you that both runners were going to get a lamp off left side swamp that was not required for as a fire source, would you have believed me?
It is pretty ridiculous.
So it's worth noting, we have 3 clearable crystals right now.
3? We have Skullwoods
2.
and Ice
We don't have
Palace.
fire. I forgot, we don't have a cane.
Right.
You'd think I would know that you need a cane to clear Misery Mire, given it's my favorite dungeon and my favorite item.
It's the broken item, that's for sure.
I'm a glitch player, why do you think I like it?
So, GFE, I would assume with the Fire Rod is going straight for the middle and then the back. And until Zero Rush gets the Ice Rod, GFE is in the lead, but who knows what's going to happen with that hook shot.
The big question is, when he goes to the pyramid, does he go back for Dark Cross?
Yeah, it's an isolated check that's annoying to get to. And wonder what's going through Zero Rush's mind now. And where he's thinking of taking that lamp.
My first thought would probably be to follow it to Mire and Desert, because we know Desert needs fire.
Oh, right. He can beat Desert now.
How easy do you like your moth fights?
Well, this would be a very difficult moth fight in the original game because he's immune to Butter Sword. But yes, this should be a pretty easy moth fight as it is. Especially with red mail and half magic and all that fun stuff.
Red mail looks to me like GFE's wearing green.
Well, maybe Gino is red-green colorblind.
Maybe. I love the variety of sprites we get.
Hey, Vanilla.
There's
Oh, not
no?
quite.
That
Thank
was that was not vanilla. I believed you for a minute there.
Well, I mean, I said it before I saw all the hearts refill. But I think that's both items out of Skullwoods, that the middle was the other item, yes?
Yes, but GFE has to go get the middle one. He walks past, I believe.
Oh. Okay, Pet is officially dead.
I'm glad we know that now.
So I guess now he'll deal with the middle, get that item, then presumably go to ice since it's a clearable crystal. You hate to do it without Samaria now that Icebreaker's a thing, but sometimes Samaria's in ice.
First I would think you'd do North Dark World if you're going to do North Dark World at all.
I mean, just all there is check Bumper Legend. I guess he hasn't done, whatchamacallit,
Lag on the button there.
That is some serious lag. But yeah, he hasn't done Graveyard Ledge, that's really it.
And we're getting our other check we don't like checked. This could be important here.
Didn't GFE do this early?
No, he did not. And like everything else, it's money.
To quote the pedestal, a rupee horde, hell yeah!
I think that it was just a rupee statue. I think that's the 100 rupees on the pad.
Okay, I'd have to look it up. Well, we're gonna get our first peek into Mire.
Apologies for the flashing.
Thought that was supposed to be suppressed in the latest versions.
Only if you turn on reduce flashing.
Oh. Honestly, it's been so long since I've seen someone not turn it on that I forgot how much flashing there was.
That one Popa blocked the sword beam from the Wizrobe.
So what now? I guess GFE's probably... Well, no, he has the mirror out. Oh, no, he is using his portal. So he's probably doing Catfish now.
I mean, if you're going to route North Dark World here, you almost have to, otherwise you're never going back to Catfish.
Yeah. Well, the thing about runners of this caliber is that they can just full clear areas. You know, weaker runners would skip things because they'd be like, well, I'm never gonna out-execute my opponent, but here it's more like, well, I'm going to hope my opponent didn't route this way.
It's honestly part of what makes watching top-tier gameplay interesting. Whose route has the efficiency that gives you what you need done first?
And GFE, what do you... Oh.
He's routing to ice.
Yeah, you don't think about that portal in that direction, but yes, I would expect Ice Palace because it is full clearable. Well, we'll find out whether it's logically hookshot locked.
Or logically Samario locked. Either way, I'd expect GFE to pay some close attention to the key logic of this dungeon. Which is good, because I wouldn't. It's also worth noting that was a fire-locked Misery Mire. Big Key was in the left side.
And we do not have our items, so Zero Rush is going to go to Cutscene Chest. We're already one item down in Ice Palace.
The good news is we are at the point where Ice Palace Bomb Jump is important here.
Yes, and these runners have been around a long time. They definitely know Ice Palace Bomb Jump. Useful thing to learn even if you're a newer runner, because sometimes you have situations like this where you're just gonna have to go into Ice Palace without the cane.
Gotta get that right pixel there, GFE.
That's good.
For those who aren't aware of a simple visual cue, with a sword, a Master's Tempered or Butter Sword, you have a single pixel floor tile between your sword and the bomb.
And a small key, which is only possible there if the big key is in the compass chest, which it was. So where's Zero Rush going now? Hera?
I'm thinking this must be a Tower of Hera play.
Yeah, for one item.
Right, there's our first small key.
Alright, so now we need big key on the right side, I think, for it not to be logically hookshot locked.
I believe so. It's been a minute since I've studied my Ice Palace key logic, because it's a mess.
Okay, big key is on the right side.
How'd you like that little bit of Icebreaker muscle memory? Didn't pull the tongue.
Right. I remember when Icebreaker first became legal, people would pull the tongue anyway because of muscle memory.
Meanwhile, Zero Rush takes his coffee break here.
Okay, so Ice Palace is not logically hookshot locked. The question is it logically Samaria locked? Because if that remaining small key is on Cold Stare, then it's logically Samaria locked.
That part I do remember. It's easy to remember. If a small key's on Cold Stare, then it's Samaria locked. Alright, we got our vanilla big key out of Tower of Hera.
Which we knew it had to be there.
Yes.
And now, what is the one item waiting for us upstairs? As our second item in ice is junk. Wow, that was some fancy dodging of the pen gators.
GFE has some fancy feet today.
GFE also remembering that he has to get this the way nature intended because he has no hookshot.
Alright,
okay.
This is a logically clearable Ice Palace.
And Hera just gave us a big 20. And Zero Rush looked momentarily confused. This also means that Cold Stare could have either the Cane of Samaria or the hookshot.
Or something that blocks them both. Although at this point, what can block the hookshot and the cane?
Mushroom. And then one of them blocks the other. And there we go.
No icebreaker for you today.
So, at 1 hour, 10 minutes, and about 37 seconds, GFE is in hover / Moldorm bounce mode.
The question is, can he do that? If not, where's the hookshot? But at this point, I think you start clearing your hook dungeons.
He is buying upgrades, which leads me to believe he wants a lot of bombs for attempting a Moldorm bounce, as Zero Rush finally collects his Ice Rod, Fire Rod. And he's fluting away. No, he's mirroring.
Well, he's in the Dark World.
Yes. Okay. But he is fluting away, he is not doing Dark Cross.
That gives a significant lead to GFE, I believe.
Yeah. Now, given that, given how this seed has been progressing, and given that Ice Palace was neither logically Samaria locked nor logically hookshot locked, I'm thinking the hookshot's behind Samaria, so it's either on Vitreous or it's in TR. Or maybe even in GT.
I was gonna say, can I be the rude Twitch chat member today?
And say GT Big Chest?
No, Tile Room.
Oh. Well, GT Big Chest would be more fun because whoever gets their go mode out of that. Unless you're J. Coper finding your Master Sword in it.
That's a good... That was a good reference to a tournament from earlier this year, wasn't it?
Yup. Chad also pointing out that it could be as late as pre-Moldorm chest.
I've played a Slando with that one. Thanks, Vortex.
Or, something we said we wouldn't talk about, hookshot could be on Pyramid Fairy. There are any number of places hookshot could be.
Which is why we're going to focus on the fact that we have to go find some keys now, right?
Well, I mean, GFE needs his big key. Zero Rush is going to get the second item here out of Skull Woods. Tiffy is going straight for the back. I believe we did determine there's an item on Biddy.
Chat pointing out just how unlikely it is for that hookshot to be on the climb, by the way.
Statistically speaking, sure.
That takes a very specific key layout, because the climb is blocked by 3 key logic.
Oh, right, and it can't be on the left side of the basement because that's hookshot blocked. Well, except for map chest.
But... And, as predicted, Zero Rush does go to Ice Palace next. I do appreciate the play to do Skullwoods before Ice Palace in both of these runners' cases, just because when you know there's a potential item on Mothula, it could have been your cane to make this easier.
Very nice spooky by GFE.
Thank you, GFE, for reminding me how I'm doing Spooky 1 incorrectly.
And this should be a nice, easy fight. Just a few spins with Butter Sword. We still don't have any invincibility items, which would be nice, but... And
GFE showing us how it's done.
That is crystal number 6.
And bottle number 2?
Yeah, sure. Powder's been our major safety to this point, and I guess half magic.
Honestly, between those two, I'd rather have the half magic. That was a beautiful setup for Ice Palace Bomb Jump.
Yeah, very clean and fast. GFE wasting no time. I'm assuming he will full clear TR hoping for the hook shot. Oh right, have to go the long way around, no hook shot.
Amazing how that works, isn't it?
Yeah, well, heads up by GFE, I had totally forgotten.
Honestly, so would I.
Zero Rush tried to clip into the staircase, but didn't get it.
Definitely the harder direction to go with that bomb jump.
Yeah. Both runners got it, though.
GFE bomb jumped the other way.
Oh, he bomb jumped back, but he had already been... Oh, no, he went back upstairs from Freezor room. That's what he did.
He got the key and then went up to the right side.
Right. Right. He went back upstairs from Freezor room. Whereas Zero Rush, interesting that he is not doing the right side. I mean, it'll work out for him if he just goes straight to Cold Stare.
I mean, the third item is on Cold Stare, so...
Yes, it's just kind of going to be good luck for him.
The downside I see is that I expect Zero Rush to make the play the Turtle Rock looking for an Ice Rod.
Yeah, I mean, there are no overworld checks we haven't done, are there?
I'm trying to think, other than Pyramid Fairy. No. I don't think there's any left. And GFE remembering you have to go the long way here, too.
Yup, another heads-up play. You don't come across this very often.
Wouldn't be the first time I've seen Hookshot back here, either.
He is getting a bit beaten up. Oh, Silver is nice. Getting a bit beaten up by those crystal rollers.
Well, on the bright side, you're gonna get those silvers this run.
Oh, and Zero Rush for all that, didn't go to Cold Stare even though he was right there and could have.
And today we have diagonal hovering for a minute.
That was pretty nice.
Nice little hover to get you across there, Zero Rush.
Though all told, I think GFE's routing of Ice Palace was more efficient.
If Zero Rush had gone to Cold Stare...
Oh yeah, that would have been super efficient, because then you get the cane.
Although I think this is also a play to determine if anything can be behind Ice Palace.
Yeah, but then why didn't he just route it the way GFE routed it? Why did he go all the way around and about?
I don't know. We'd have to ask Zero Rush in the interview.
Yeah, so GFE is full clearing, hoping for the hookshot in here.
Actually, I think he's hoping for the cane he can hover.
What, GFE?
Or not GFE. Sorry, I keep mixing
No, I was saying
up.
why GFE was doing Lava Chest.
My bad. I'm mixing the two runners up. When you have runners with this skill, it's easy to do.
Oh, and Zero Rush realizes that, oh, he can't hookshot clip to the big chest. Now it's going to work out for him, because he will get the cane here and hopefully realize, nope, he's going back.
And to get back, you go the entire way
Yeah,
around again.
this is painful. I wonder if he's getting a little bit tilted. GFE is of the school of thought that says you do Mimic Cave before Big Chest. This is a very contentious debate when you're one item from Go mode. Which one do you do first?
Honestly, when the item is a hookshot, I do this first just because I can't conveniently hookshot across, and that is almost a vanilla mirror shield. Now just give us a heart piece in a Big Chest, please.
So yes, I mean, this race was GFE's to lose anyway because of the Ice Rod, but Zero Rush's Ice Palace routing is not helping matters. And as we said at the beginning, both of these runners have a lot to play for. Sphere-finity has a very outside chance at the playoffs if they can win all their remaining races, and certainly they want to get some breathing room so they know they're clear from relegation risk. And I Like Big Boots is on the verge of clinching a playoff berth. I'd have to look to see if their next win would be sufficient. I think so. Hey, using the mirror shield as it was designed.
Huh. This is where you get the mirror shield, and it's useful for exactly this purpose.
Yes! Okay, so no hookshot still. Zero Rush doesn't have an Ice Rod.
One item on Trinax.
Yeah.
And a significant amount of lag in that room. Beautiful fight with Trinax. Beautiful fight with Trinax overall.
Yeah, nice when you have the butter sword, isn't it? Almost!
Hey look! Fire locked fire.
And We'll get a prediction going of whether the GT Big Key is logically hookshot locked or not. Though I don't see where the hookshot could really be besides GT or Pyramid Fairy. Pyramid Fairy would be awful.
I'm gonna go with the logically hookshot locked today.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if GFE does a bomb jump to Stalfos room.
I know he can.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a hard bomb jump, and it's 4 items, but then that tells you something. And he is going left first. Oh, there it is.
Well, that's the spot for a hookshot. That's a fantastic spot for a hookshot. Well, I imagine it might be logically hookshot locked. We got a hookshot. This seed just wanted you to think it was a hover seed.
Oh, 2 keys there, and he's doing right side now, the so-called DM strat. Well, much not. Oh, and Hope Room lives up to its name.
Was that a God GT with a hookshot on torch?
Yes.
Okay then. Can we point out how this tower climb and this Ganon fight are going to be absolutely simple?
This seed should be, framed. There's a certain amount of beauty to this seed, honestly.
The further into the seed it gets, the more beautiful it gets. It ages like a fine wine.
I could see this seed being dug up several years from now and played again, just for the enjoyment. Oh, and there's Zero Rush's Ice Rod. Not too happy about it, but he got it.
At least he got it before he went up to Turtle Rock.
So the real question is, given GFE's propensity for Ganon Falls, how many Ganon Falls would it take for Zero Rush to catch up?
3.
Like licks to get to the Tootsie Roll Center, right?
I thought you were asking about licks to get to the center of Tootsie Roll Pop.
Oh, okay then.
But in all seriousness, I'm not sure. I imagine GFE will be trying to avoid those Ganon Falls in this race.
Most likely.
Excellent shooting. 3 arrows, 3 Lambos. And now we're in some of my favorite rooms in the game. They are so satisfying when performed correctly.
Just whacking the Wizrobes like that. That takes... good runners make that look easy. It is not nearly as easy as they make it look. It takes a lot of practice to get the block just right and then position yourself to get the last Wizrobe on the same cycle.
I've been putting that block too far left and missing the left Wizrobe. So, no, it is not easy. One nice thing that can be seen in these seeds lately is we've recently patched out the jingle glitch on top of Ganon's tower. So no more having to worry about, are you going to despawn all the enemies?
Yeah, definitely a quality of life improvement. I know a certain League admin who had a knack for despawning the tower.
I wasn't gonna mention it. Oh no, Zero Rush unfortunately forgot the hookshot problem here as well.
What, he's going around the correct direction?
He started the other direction.
Oh, I missed that. I was watching the Moldorm kill.
Yeah. I believe he did catch himself in time to use that top loop there to turn back around. But... And again, the silvers are just absolutely in the path of this scene. Okay. That's a good spot, Aga. Stay right there.
Okay, what was that, a 3-cycle?
I couldn't tell if it was 3 or 4. Well, it was at least 3.
Ah, Jack's saying 4. Unfortunately, Zero Rush probably won't get to GT and find out about that hookshot by the time GFE finishes. Yeah, that's definitely a 1-cycle. Nice and easy to do with the butter sword.
Just gotta hit Ganon 6 times. And 4 hits here to let him knock out the floor. He must be very hard for interior designers and such.
Yeah, well, I mean, once all 4 sides are knocked out, how does the floor even support itself?
You know that hole in the bottom in the center under the behind the walls?
Yeah?
You see, that wall is actually 3-dimensional and it goes all the way up to the ceiling.
Oh, good architecture. Ooh, doesn't quite get the triple, but that's gonna do it. Get your GGs in chat for GFE. We'll take Sphere-finity up to 4 and 7, as I Like Big Boots falls to 7 and 4.
And I believe that's the official race time of 1:31:08.
And there's the forfeit from Zero Rush, not unexpected. See if we can get one or both of them in. GFE's in the waiting room here. May just be him. It was sounding from the race room chat like Zero Rush may have had it, but here's GFE. GG, dude.
GG GFE.
Yo, thanks for the GGs.
So how are you feeling like during the seed as the progression chain gets crazier and crazier?
Okay, so let me explain some decisions, because there were many questionable ones.
I mean, I just figured you were clown routing for the first part.
Well, at the beginning, I was willing to make a couple of gambles. I don't mind an early Eastern dip, especially when I did not have anything for Dark World access. I had nothing. So I was like, Saha Eastern surely has at least one piece, and so I go over there. There's nothing. At least all 3 items were early, so I didn't have to do big key chest. And then I go to Mini Moldorm, and it's like, oh, here's everything basically. And so I felt awful then. So when I got to Dark World after getting my glove, I was going to do, like, I was actually split. I was thinking about doing the swamp dip, but I decided, that's too risky. Let's not do that. I was going to route Pyramid, Mirror, do Hyrule Castle and Uncle, and then go on to Catfish, because that's a little bit of a gamble. But when I got Book, I was like, I feel like I have to check Bombo's tablet. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm walking by Swamp. We're just going to do this. That Eastern play is bad. there's no way Zero's going to do that. If it's a jet seed, I've already lost. So let's just pray for something. And then I still felt bad because all I got was the lamp. And so I just immediately figured I'll go to desert. And got those mitts. I don't know when Zero got them. I was talking to some others after, and with flute, I can see that maybe you don't get that as late as I was imagining you might. But getting the mitts and then getting the boots earlier than I would have thought Zero would felt pretty good.
Yeah, I'm trying. Oh, right. Flute was on Zora Ledge. Yes, Zero got the flute sooner, but then when he got the book in Hype Cave, he didn't follow it to desert like you did. Took him a while to get the mitts. So that was where you started building a lead. And then the big thing was you, because you had gone into Swamp and had the lamp, you did Dark Cross along with Back of Escape.
Yeah, I was tempted to skip Dark Cross at that point, but I was like, I got boots, it's pretty quick, I've got lamp, so let's just go do it. And when I pulled Ice Rod, I was like, chances of you checking Hyrule Castle early in this seed are not very high, so I could see this potentially being a last location. And apparently that was partially right, so...
Yeah, he did everything else, but he decided not to go out of logic because he didn't have a fire source, so he orphaned Dark Cross.
Uh-huh. So I guess that lamp and swamp was worth something after all.
Yeah.
Even if it was just to bait my opponent.
Well, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, it seemed like everything you found led to one other item. Though I guess Ether the book led to two things. It led you to both mitts and boots.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure that the race was still pretty tense as I was entering GT until I went to Torch, because I can do the Moldorm bounce, but I mean it's always a little iffy how long it's going to take you. So who knows? Zero could have caught up if it weren't for that. Now, if Hookshot had not have specifically been on Torch, you probably would have been seeing Moldorm bounce attempts.
Yeah, well, we were wondering, because at that point, between the two of you, you guys had checked everything. Like, Zero Rush even went back into Tower of Hera and showed us what was in the big chest, which was just a big 20. I think the only remaining places that were not locked by the hookshot were GT and Pyramid Fairy.
Yep, Pyramid Fairy. That's the one thing I was scared of. That and Hera. I wanted to go mode TR, but I had cleared everything, and Biddy gave me the second item in Mire, and I was like, it's not worth it. If Hookshot's here, it's still probably going to save me time over trying to get the Moldorm bounce. So
that was another thing. You held off on Mire until you had the cane. Zero Rush, because he didn't have the Fire Rod until quite a bit later, went in after getting Ether and wasn't able to finish it.
Yeah, to be honest, I felt pretty bad about that Fire Rod also. But when I finished in Zero Rush, Zero Rush said that he had basically the last location that. I was a little surprised. But that location, I mean, it can get you, because if you have flute, especially if you route Hype to Dig Game, and then when you're in North Dark World, you just route to Catfish, there's not really a good time to go to Pyramid.
Yeah, no, definitely. Took me a moment to figure out what you were doing when you were going to the portal south of Link's house.
Yeah,
at that point.
I should have gone to Flute 5. It's a little faster, but...
Well, either way, you got the item.
Yeah. I will say for sure that hookshot took a whole lot of stress off of the rest of the seed.
Did you buy the bomb upgrade in case you needed to try Moldorm bounce? Was that the idea there?
Yes, 100%. Like I was 100% prepared for it. I'd practiced right before the race and got it about 50% of the time, so I felt pretty good.
Okay, but hey, you didn't need to.
Yeah, it's always comforting to have that hook shot. Because the whole thing I was thinking was like, yeah, this is a hook shotless seed, and I'm racing Zero Rush. Maybe P-Train should have done this one, but it worked out.
I think Drossi made the same joke.
Hey, I'm just happy to stay alive. Still keeping some playoff hopes alive. I'm gonna need some help, but there's a chance.
Yeah,
hanging in there.
There is definitely a chance if you win out. I'd have to check the exact schedule to see, what the scenarios are, and I think even one more loss eliminates you from playoff contention. But in any case, you got to be happy. 4 wins makes you pretty safe from worrying about relegation.
Yeah. I think the situation right now, we can afford. Let me think. I think we can afford one more loss if Sexy Ganons get swept this week. So if the French Canadians can get a couple more wins in there, I think we can possibly sneak in if we sweep Sexy Ganons in week 7. But it kind of depends on how the other placements go and tiebreakers.
Right. Obviously, the Titans Mitts and Did You Check Your Boot have both clinched spots, so they're 2 more up for grabs. And yeah, I'd have to sit down and think of, how did Sexy Gannons do against Leftovers? Did they sweep them?
Correct.
Okay, so Leftovers and French Canadians are both mathematically eliminated, and so then it's really the 4 teams in the middle competing for 2 spots.
Yeah, I'm a little biased, but in my opinion, this is the scariest division, all around, as far as every team. In Invitational, there's definitely scary teams all over the place, don't get me wrong, but just as a whole, I feel like none of the teams in this one are free. How French Canadians only got their first win last week is just shocking to me.
And that was a significant win because that actually clinched Did You Check Your Boot?
Oh, nice.
So yeah, in terms of what you were saying about getting help from other teams, Did You Check Your Boot got help with their playoff clinch from Les French Canadians pulling off that win. But yeah, we should probably wrap here. But GG again, GFE. That was quite a race and a logic chain you had to follow.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks so much, Drossi and Zeke, for the commentary. I definitely look forward to seeing what y'all had to say about this one. Had to be an interesting race, just how our routing worked out. Talk about divergence, no doubt. But
Huge amount of divergence. Yeah, it should be very interesting to watch back.
And then shout outs to our tracker also, Akuhaish. I'm probably butchering that, but always appreciate the trackers. Appreciate everybody that puts work into this. Shout outs to all the league admins and mods. So many people behind the scenes that do so much for this, and it's a ton of fun. It's competitive, but it's fun. Just here having fun with friends, good competition. And GG's again to Zero. I know that had to be a rough one for him. He's a terrifying opponent to go up against.
Yeah, one way or the other, it was gonna be tough because you guys are really evenly matched. I said this at the outset of the race, so we knew it was gonna be a tough fight one way or the other.
Hey, I appreciate the compliment, but as far as execution goes, I'm not even going to pretend to match up to Zero.
Okay, fine. You're not a sub 125 NMG player, but
Zero Rush is on a separate level when it comes to NMG execution from
definitely.
a lot of this community, let's be honest here.
Yeah. But Yeah, I think that's going to do it here. I think we have a late night match in the Open League. I think this was the last invitational match of the night.
Let me quickly double check.
Certainly in the Open League on the ALTTPR League, we do have a race between Rando Babies and a deadly case of explosions that should be getting underway in about 5 minutes. So check that out.
But yes, this is the final Invitational race. Actually, these two teams are the opening race for tomorrow for Invitational.
Oh, right. Sabotender versus Hitsuyan, right? Yeah.
Let's go, Sabo, Farm Hitsu.
At 3:10 Eastern, you have Sabotender versus Hitsuyan, and as you can see, these teams have a little bit to show, don't they?
Yeah, and that will be over on SpeedGaming too, so... and the match note for that says, Clown Show, let's go! So, should be a fun clown show. But yeah, so once again, thank you to our runners, thank you to Akuhesh for tracking, and Zeke, I'm glad we got to do this. Thanks for suggesting it.
Absolutely. I've been looking for an excuse to get in commentary booth with you, so...
Well, here was your excuse.
I've heard nothing but good things about doing commentary with you from some friends of mine, so... Now I gotta get some friends of mine in commentary booth with you again.
Yes, I know, one in particular, but in any case, yeah, have a great night out there, and don't forget to check in for all the other great matches we've got coming your way over this week.
Have a good night, everybody.